Okay, welcome back, where grammar is fun to learn. All right, so we are going to expand our definition of pronouns. Last time we were looking at the third person pronoun. Okay, third person pronouns, and we looked at the pronouns he, she, it, and they. Okay, then we also looked at the objects, right? Him, her, and them. Okay, and so we look at the objects also. And so what we're going to do today is we're going to expand our definition of pronouns, or we're going to expand our knowledge of pronouns, and we're going to be taking a look at the first person pronouns, and we're also going to be taking a look at the second person. Okay, the second person pronoun. All right, they do differ in the use of them, and we're going to we're going to see that coming right up. All right, so we're going to take a look at the first and second person pronouns, and I'm going to read this little section to you because it's important. And remember, I only highlight things in the videos. This is watching the video is not an excuse to not read the material, because you need to read it completely and understand it. I'm just going to pull out the most important things for you in the video that I think you need to understand in order to be successful on the activities. All right, so please read this in its entirety completely. Okay, but we're going to start off right here. It says third person pronouns are unique among pronouns. The ability of third person pronouns to substitute for noun phrases is not shared with first and second person pronouns, which do not replace anything at all. Okay, so third person pronouns replace the noun phrase like we saw last time, and I'll show you an example right up here. My husband and his friends have taken the kids camping this week. They have taken the kids camping this week. Okay, so we're going to get rid of that. That's the third person pronoun. It replaces the noun in the noun phrase. Now what they're saying is that first and second person pronouns do not do that. So let's take a look at that example. It says the first person pronoun I, me, we, and us refer only to the speaker or writer of a sentence. And the second person pronoun, of course, we and us refers to the speaker and the people with him, right? Okay. In the second person pronoun, you refers only to the real or imagined audience of the sentence, all right? For example, consider the following sentence, I see you, all right? Here, the first person pronoun I and the second person pronoun you, they don't substitute for anything. They don't replace anything. They're just the subject and the object, all right? And so personal pronouns have different, and I'm reading down here again, personal pronouns have different forms depending on their person, first, second, or third, number, singular or plural, and form or case, the subject or the object or the possessive. Okay, remember we've already talked about what the subject is. The subject is who does the action in the sentence. The object is who the action is done on, or what the object, who receives the action of the sentence, or the verb of the sentence, right? And then the possessive is, we've already looked at possessive and nouns. That's Juan's car. All right, so that's a possessive, but we also have possessive pronouns also, and we'll take a look at those. But one possessive pronoun that you're most familiar with, of course, is their car. Okay, not to be confused with their or their. All right, obviously different uses, they sound the same, but their car is the possessive pronoun. The car belongs to them. All right, so let's go ahead and look through some of these things, and we're going to look at a chart that highlights all these things, and we're going to see, you can see, I'm not going to read through this chart for you, but you can see the first person pronouns, the second person pronouns, and the third person pronouns. If you think that you don't understand these, you might want to go ahead and take a snapshot of this on your PDF. You have this PDF, and you might want to go ahead and snapshot that and put it on your desktop or in your picture roll, so you have easy access to this, so you don't have to keep flipping to it. And you can see all these things right here. You can see the plurals, you can see the third person pronouns, and down here you can see the possessives, and those are kind of interesting. Okay, so look at the possessive: my car, our car. Possessive, and this is what we're going to look at the difference here. Second person, yours and your, what the difference is. Same here. Possessive pronominal, and the possessive adjectival. And that sounds very complicated, but it's really not, and I'm going to walk you through that. So don't worry about the terms here. Pronominal and the adjectival, and you'll understand the difference here. But his, hers, or its, his, her, its. You can see that there's a slight difference in some of them. There's no S on this one. There's no S on this one. Same with here. There's no S on the adjective. There's no S in the plural. So you'll get a good idea of what those mean here in a second. Okay, it says, notice that the possessive pronouns have two different sets of forms. The pronominal forms, mine, ours, yours, his, hers, its, and theirs, and they act as true pronouns. So the pronominal possessive acts as two true pronouns. It means they are the pronoun. There's no noun afterwards, okay? The other ones have act as actually the possessive adjectival act as adjectives. And I'm going to show you what that looks like here. I know you're confused right now, but don't be. It's not, the terms are difficult, but the concept is not. So let's take a look here. Here's an example. Mine was the only correct answer. Ours didn't stand a chance. You can see that those are pronouns, and they stand on their own. Okay, so we call them pronominal. Object: Bob couldn't find his program, so I gave him yours. That stands on its own. Yours is a pronoun. There's nothing else that's needed there. The children lost theirs again. Once again, there's nothing that stands on its own. And you can see that these are what we call pronominal, okay? They act as true pronouns, and those are the possessives. Now let's take a look at that, a difference here. The adjectival forms, my, our, your, his, her, its, and their, act as adjectives modifying nouns. Here's an example. My answer was the only correct one. My is the possessive. My what? My answer. And you can see the answer is the noun. Answer is the noun, and my is the adjective modifying the noun. Okay? So you can see mine was the only correct answer up here. Mine stands alone. My does not. My answer. Okay? Down here, I gave him your program. Well, the difference between your and yours, okay, this is a pronominal. It acts as a true pronoun. This is acts as an adjective, okay? This is a possessive, acts like a possessive adjective. And let's take a look at here, the difference here. I gave him your program. Well, the your is the adjective, and then it modifies, tells which program. Okay, that's different than up here. Look at up here again, and we're going to flip back and forth here so we can see. If you look up here, I gave him yours. Yours stands all by itself. All right, it's the pronominal, it's the true pronoun. Your is just an adjective. It needs a noun afterwards, okay? So anytime you have a noun after the possessive, this is really an adjective. It was your decision to make. Well, it was, once again, it was your what? It was your decision. All right? Your modifies whose decision. Okay, so that's the difference between the adjectives and the true pronouns or the pronominal. And we're going to take a look at those terms again so we can learn them. There's no reason why we shouldn't remember what they're called. They're both possessive. Means they show ownership. So we're going to write possessive. And then we're going to write pronominal. And we're going to write adjectival. All right. So remember the possessive adjective. Oops, I spelled possessive wrong. Sorry, I forgot the extra ESS in there. Let's fix that. Possessive. Okay. The adjectival form needs the noun afterward. The pronominal does not. It acts as the noun itself. Okay. All right. So that's what we're going to remember. We're going to remember those terms. Okay. So we already went through that. It says of particular importance are the possessive pronoun forms that are different from each other. Okay. These are the ones that are different from each other, and there's only 3 of them here: your and yours, her and hers, their and theirs. Okay. The other ones can be used in either form. Okay. The adjectival and the pronominal forms of his and its are the same. Here are some sentences that illustrate the difference between the pronominal and the adjectival forms. Your and yours. Let's take a look at this again. I didn't understand your answer. I didn't understand yours. So you can see that this one must have, this adjective right here must have the noun. This one acts as the pronoun. Okay? His and her and hers. It is her decision to make. It is hers to make. Once again, her is the adjectival, the possessive adjective, and her what? Her decision. It is hers to make. Let's put that in red so you know that it doesn't need a noun afterwards. It is hers to make. Down here, their and theirs. Their what? Well, their task. Oops. Once again, moving ahead, their task. And then down here, theirs is a dangerous job. So that would be the possessive. So you can see down here the difference between the pronominal and the adjectival. The adjectival possessive needs the noun afterwards, okay? And the pronominal does not. And you can see that the pronominal ends in, and it's easy to remember because the pronominal ends in an S. All right, so that's one way to look at it. All right, so let's see what we have going forward. We have a couple exercises here. It says select the proper form of the 2 italicized possessive pronouns by underlining the correct form. So in this one, all you do is underline the correct form, and I'll probably put this up as an interactive quiz also, I guess, because this would be easy to make into a little quiz. So it's going to be a PDF on your thing, but when you turn it in, I may turn it into a quiz. It says, and we always take quizzes in Canvas, remember. That's probably where we're going to find this activity. But it says, I couldn't make out what they were saying about their or theirs. Well, which one? There's no noun afterwards, so I'd have to use theirs. We were naturally very sad to hear about your loss or yours loss. Well, I need the adjectival, your loss. Nobody had anything to say about his or her decision, her or hers decision. So you can see that this is the noun decision, so I know that I need the adjectival possessive adjective. So that's how we do it. And if you have questions, once again, please come before school, or so you can stay after school, and I will help you out. And I think this one will be, I don't think this is overly difficult, even though we learned some difficult terms. And once again, the terms that we learned were the possessive, pronominal, and the possessive adjectival. Remember, the adjectival needs the noun afterwards, like decision, and then her. And then the possessive, remember, or the pronominal always ends in the S. And that's the one that stands by itself. All right? So, I will see you in the next video, and good luck with this assignment. Oh, let me go through and show you what you have. You're going to have all the way up to number 10, so it's not too much work.